Hi everyone, this is Drew with Universal Audio, and in this video, I'm going to cover the 1073 Preamp and EQ plugin. This iconic EQ can be found in classic Neve consoles. It's famous for its silky top end and its musical mid and low bands, and also its unique saturation characteristics. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can put all of that to work in your tracks. So let's get started. So in this first example, we're dealing with some hard-panned, double-track, chunky rhythm guitar tracks. Now they sound pretty good on their own, but I want to use the 1073's EQ section to really bring them to life. So I've got it dialed in already and I'm pretty happy. Let's go ahead and hear what it sounds like. So let's talk about how I got where I ended up. The first thing to mention is the high shelf. Now you'll notice I've got this cranked up pretty good, but this EQ is so sweet and so musical. Don't be afraid to push this. This just brings out the clarity and detail that I'm looking for in the top end of these guitars. Next up is the mid band. Here I'm pushing some 700. That's not something I would do with every EQ plugin, but with the 1073 it sounds really good. Pushing the mids forward, making these guitars really powerful. So moving on to the low shelf, I'm pushing 220, which is a big, broad shelving filter. It's gonna fatten the bottom end and make things bigger. And in order to control the flub, I've got the high pass set to 80. The last thing to talk about is the final clean output level control. Now I'm boosting the top end, I'm pushing forward the mids, and I'm blowing up the bottom end. That's adding a lot of gain to the signal, and to properly gain stage through the plugin, as you can see, I've backed off that level control to compensate. So for this next example, we're gonna work with some drum overheads, and I'm gonna use the 1073's unique mic preamp saturation to transform it into what I want. Now I've got a little bit of EQ dialed in already that I like, so let's focus on the 3 gain stages and how they impact the sound. The most important one is the red mic preamp gain knob. Now by default, we're running through the line amp, which sounds great, but in this example, I wanna show you how you can use the mic preamp to add even more vibe and color. To do that, I'm gonna click on mic. This is gonna switch me from the line amp to the mic preamp. Now, be sure to do this without music playing because there's gonna be a big increase in gain. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull down the output fader 10 dB or so to compensate now. Now let's give it a listen and see what running it through the preamp does to transform this sound. So that's quite a transformation. Without the saturation, the kick is barely present, the snare is out in front, and the hi-hat's way too loud. But after the saturation, all 3 elements of the kit have come together. Now they've got attitude. So for this third example, I'm gonna show you how you can put the Neve 1073 across a bunch of tracks, including your master fader, to give your entire mix that classic Neve sound. So what you're about to hear is a combination of the unique saturation characteristics, but also the EQ touches that you've heard throughout this video. Let's take a listen. So as you can hear, the 1073 across a bunch of tracks and on your master fader with its unique saturation and musical EQ can really transform a mix and bring it to life. Be sure to subscribe to the Universal Audio YouTube channel for more tips and tricks, and I'll see you next time.